Okay, let's move on. I know this is fascinating, but inshallah you can look at it once I put the slides up also on the, inshallah, Google Classroom. Here's another manuscript. I think I took a picture of this, or one of my friends. Again, we used to share, we were so excited, we just shared pictures of the museum exhibit. I'm going to zoom in. It's the same picture. I'm just zooming in. And let's try to read it. What do you think, Brother Wadia? You want to give it a try? I would start, if you're, let me try to unmute you. I would suggest starting here. This is a Ras ayah. And notice how honestly, it's clearly added later. If the Khattat wanted to indicate a Ras ayah, he would definitely have made room. So this is indication in of itself that the ayah numberings or markings or beautiful flowers or whatnot added was, in this manuscript, was added later. But this is the beginning of an ayah. Ma.
أيوة. ما يفعل الله
أيوة.
ما يفعل الله بعذابكم إن شكرتم وآمنتم
وكان الله شاكرا عليما. This is in Surah An-Nisa. Yes. So again, mashallah, the handwriting is all there. And then you have the Al-Farahidi system of doing the fatha, dhamma, kasras. There's even a shadda. There's a sukoon. And now you see the big dottings of the letters. There's no red here. And it's easily read. Notice bi'adhabikum. Words were still being split along lines. It was still acceptable. And you have a big flower here, which means it's possible that they're saying that this is either a 10 or a 5. In Surah An-Nisa, so if you have a Mushaf beside you, let's journey to Surah An-Nisa. I'm hunting for, it's going to be near the end of the surah. There it is, page 101. This ayah number in the Add al-Kufi is 146, which tells me this Mushaf was not scribed in Kufa, probably. Probably they're following on another counting system, which, let me grab my Mushaf Qalun just to get a feel. Could it possibly have been scribed in Medina, according to Mushaf Qalun? So page 101 is ayah 145 in the count of Medina. And that's why you have this big flower in addition to the small ayah indication. So this is probably following not Add al-Kufi, but I cannot confirm 100% that it was scribed in Medina, because my Mus'haf doesn't say this is only counted, for example, for Medina. It just excludes the counting of al-Kufi. So it could be scribed in Basra, it could be scribed in Levant, it could be scribed in Mecca, it could have been scribed in Medina. It's just we're excluding Kufi, that's it. And there's no other indication I can see that would definitely put it according to any qira'ah in any specific region. Okay, what else can we glean out of this? I think we have one more manuscript. Yes. Okay, this is my absolute favorite. I love this one so much. It's so beautiful. First of all, look at the colors.
Wow.
Exactly. Oh, ya Allah, subhanallah. I stood in front of this for the longest time and took so many pictures. And this was the only one. Like every other one was different. This was the only one where you had the Uthmani, the Rasm Uthmani in black, as in, everyone agrees that it should be in black. And then you have tashkil in red, some tashkil in blue, and you have some in green. What is going on? I think I have it zoomed in. So after looking at it for a long time and consulting with some scholars, it's pretty much their opinion that this Mushaf has tashkil that contains differences. So it has ahruf in it that are recited today as different qira'ats. How do we know that? Because we have ra'a qamisahu. So we're looking at the page on the right. We have as-sadiqeen, and you have that ayah head. And then we have فَلَمَّا رَأَى قَمِيصَهُ. Now the word ra'a is recited differently. I'm gonna right now make the different pronunciations that the word ra'a can be recited according to the recitals that are existent today. Now again, we haven't gotten to recitals, but recitals preserve the ahruf, which are the differences, okay? So the word ra'a can be pronounced as such, ra'a. So notice the ra would be heavy, and then the hamza would be have a fatha, and the alif would be a, ra'a. Another recitation would be ra-e. So you would have the ra heavy, but the hamza more towards the ya. So that looks like if I'm gonna have a different coloring for the fathas, dhammas, and kasras, ra'a would be the red one. Notice how the ra has a red on it, and then the alif has a red. Ra'a. And if I'm going to represent ra, it would be the blue one. Notice how the ra is heavy, and the is more towards the ya. So you have the hamza underneath it, so that the blue represents the other qira'ah, which would be the qira'ah of Abu Amr al-Basri, by the way. Ra'a. And then there is a third qira'ah that's recited, which is re'e, but there's no representation here. If it was going to be represented, probably a third color, putting some sort of a color under the ra, maybe green or purple or I don't know what, and another one under the hamza, but it's not represented here. So right here, this manuscript in front of us, it represents at least two qira'as or two variations of pronouncing ra'a and ra'e. And we see that just continuing. It's just so beautiful that you have the same manuscript with two different qira'as. I just love it. The shad does seem to be in blue. I don't know why. Maybe it's just, you know, the choice of the scribe. But yes, the why some of the tashkil is blue and some of red, the only interpretation that I could find myself and then consulting with some scholars is it seems to be in two qira'as. Okay, this has brought on some wonderful questions, I'm sure, and comments. So Brother Muhammad is saying, were the signs of tashkil, sukoon, tanween, etc. from, yes, these signs of sukoon and tashkil and fatha is from the Farahidi time, al-Farahidi time, yes. Brother Ali says, do they have any mushaf nowadays that present al-ahruf by color like this? Not that I know. Not that I know of. The masahif that have qira'at, like they maintain only one qira'ah in the middle in big handwriting, and then on the side, they will write the different variations, which is a safer thing to do because you'd be afraid that a mushaf that contain different qira'ahs in different colors would fall into the hands of someone not trained to interpret correctly, and then confusion would happen all over again. The confusion that Uthman radiallahu anhu, who, you know, tried so hard to eliminate, it would return. So I think this mushaf must have been only in scholarly hands. Wallahu a'lam, the manuscript we see in front of us. But yeah, isn't it a rare piece? It's so beautiful, so intelligent, so brilliant of a system of using colors and all that. Okay, what else do we have here? So that was from Surat Yusuf, by the way, Yusuf alayhi as-salam. Okay, I think this is a wonderful place to stop, especially since it's 9:58. And the next lesson is about the qira'at and how they developed and where they came from and why do they have different names. Inshallah, finally, we're going to talk about the 10 qira'at and hopefully answer a lot of your questions. I know it's kind of a cliffhanger, but not really, right? I mean, just enjoy these manuscripts that we looked at tonight. Inshallah, I'll try to put them up as soon as possible right after class, inshallah. I wish we could continue until Fajr, but then I'll run out of material. Trust me, there's not too much material left. There's just, you know, enough, inshallah, to share with you in the next few days. Okay, any questions about what we've covered today? I apologize if looking at manuscripts was boring for some of you. I know that not everyone is so excited and enthusiastically or crazily loving the manuscripts as I do, but inshallah, when you look at a manuscript that's written by hand and dipped into the different inks. It's just, you know, ties your heart and mind to the theory we're talking about. These are living, breathing human beings who invented these, you know, systems of representing different qira'ahs and different ahruf and the tashkil, and they wrote it by hand and cared so much about it. So inshallah, it's bringing it to life with everyone here. Okay, let me see from Sister Nurab. What are those Moroccan masahif you are talking about? Do they have another name? No, it's a mushaf. They just, the dotting system is not exactly the dotting system used by the Eastern dotting system. It's a different system. But the mushaf, the Uthmani script is the whole ummah agrees on using the Uthmani script. It's what was added later that not everyone uses in the identical same ways. Now, okay. We have masahif from Morocco, but they are only in Welsh with all dots. Yes, what I'm talking about, the mushaf I'm talking about that uses a different dotting system is, of course, it's represented in Welsh, but it's not because it's Riwayat Welsh. It's their dotting system. That's what they use at school. Like my friends who grew up in Morocco in certain regions, they said that's how they learned how to write. They wrote the fa with a dot under and the qaf with one dot on top, for example. It's their writing system. Until today, they still use that in certain regions. And it happened to be using the qira'ah of Welsh to represent that recitation. But what I wanted to focus on is the dotting system, distinguishing fa from qaf specifically, or the ending fa, qaf, nun, and ya of the words. In Morocco, it's different than, for example, Egypt or Pakistan, for example. It's different than the East. It's a different, slightly different dotting system for the letters, but they're recited the same way. A fa is a fa. It's just where do you put the dot of the fa. In the Eastern system, they put the dot for the fa on top of it. In the Moroccan system, they put the dot of the fa under it. In the Eastern spelling system, the qaf, they put two dots on top. In the Moroccan spelling system, they use one dot on top. But a qaf is a qaf, it's the same letter pronunciation. It's just how to represent it in their writing, and that's reflected, of course, in the masahif. I'll see if I can look it up or take a picture, inshallah, and share it with you next time. Okay, any other questions or comments? Okay, inshallah. جزاكم الله خيرا. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك. أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت. أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.